Betty means so much to us, and we have loved her and served with her and worked with her for many, many years. And so I wanted to make sure that we sent her our own way of letting you know how much we care about you, Betty.
Well, thank you, council members and Valerie, for doing this. This means a lot to SEIU, it means a lot to our organization, and most of all, it means a lot to Betty. Not only because she was a union member for all these years. I mean, she was at the beginning of starting this union and helped guide and shape it. But for the fact that she was involved with her community and still is. Her civic participation, voter registration, out on the doors knocking, and also her community and her church. A very progressive church from what I understand, and we'd like to do more things with them that we'll talk to you about later. But, to keep all that in perspective of, going to work every day for MCPS too. So she embodies the wholeness that we all want to try to reach with our civic engagement and participation, and what we love as a union and what we think everybody should be deserving of as citizens in Montgomery County. So we're here to help her celebrate this, but more so for recognizing all the things that she's done. But my hope is to recognize the things that she will do also in the future with all of us.
Well, Ms. Montgomery, I think that the first thing that comes to mind for me is that, education is so much about personal connections. It's so much about an extraordinary feeling of family. And a lot of times when we're talking about education, we talk about the policies and the budgets and all those things, and those are important. But the thing about Ms. Montgomery that I always remember is that when she stepped into a room and she told us what to do, we all make sure that we listened very carefully, because, her wisdom and her experience always came from the heart first. And that, I think, it's really critical. And I think especially in these times when we are also focused on things, getting just so out of the civil discourse, and we see what's happening right now in our country, we need more Betty Montgomerys to guide us. And so I will miss you very much. But I think that you have a well-deserved future of retirement, which I'm sure you're not going to just sit somewhere. I know you're going to be doing some great things. And I just think that we could only aspire to bring to the fore all the type of incredible service that you have exemplified. And so best wishes, and I will miss you very much.
Thank you, Nancy. Whereas Betty Montgomery began her career 41 years ago at Montgomery County Public Schools as a para-educator and went on to become a staff development specialist. And whereas Betty dedicated her entire career to educating children and adult learners to ensure that all students, regardless of economic or cultural background, had every opportunity to succeed. And whereas Ms. Montgomery was instrumental in the design and implementation of the Supporting Services Professional Growth System, making it possible for all support staff to have successful careers with the school system. And whereas since the beginning of her career, Betty has been a leader in SEIU, Local 500, rising to Executive Vice President in 1998, and in that role she helped transform the union into one of the largest, fastest growing, and most influential unions in the region. And whereas Betty Montgomery's contributions to public education have gone well beyond Montgomery County and the state of Maryland, as she distinguished herself as a respected leader whose professional wisdom and dedication have highlighted a long and distinguished career. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland thanks Betty Montgomery for her more than 4 decades dedicated to bettering education in Montgomery County and wishes her a well-deserved retirement. Signed on this, at that time, 28th day of June in the year of 2013, by Council President Nancy Navarro.
First of all, I want to thank you for this acknowledgement. But I have an acquaintance from Stockton, California, who I've been traveling with on People to People International. And this year he found out I had retired. And he said, no, Betty, you're not retiring. You're refocusing. But with that said, I accept this with the sincerest humility, not in my name, but because of all of the people who have gone before me and worked so diligently for social and economic justice for all people. And they enabled me to make what little contribution I have been able to make because of the work that they did before me. I also am accepting this in the name of all of those other unsung heroes who are still out there in the trenches fighting for social and economic justice for everybody wherever they are. And so I accept this. While my name is on this proclamation, this is not about me. It's about the future. And of course, what is our future about? It's about the children. And that's why we are here. And because we just want to make sure that our children are able, and I'm going to say it, God forgive me, have critical thinking skills. But again, I thank you in the name of all of those who have toiled before me, all the unsung heroes who are out there every day doing their very, very best and are truly committed to trying to do the right thing so that there's a brighter future down for those who come behind us. And again, I thank all of you for all of the support that you've given me and the pats on the back and encouraged me as I tried to do the very best that I could with this life that I have been given.
Thank you.
So council members, it's not often that we're able to do this, so I want to thank them all for coming. They have very busy days. So you all know everybody here, Councilmember Berliner, Councilmember Elridge, Councilmember Florine, Councilmember Leventhal, you've met the council president, and Councilmember Hans Reamer, Councilmember Hans Reamer. So we acknowledge and thank SEIU 500 for all of your incredible work in our community, and we're going to miss Betty. So, yes.